What's up, YouTube? So today we going over my Ram Rebel and going over a couple things why I picked the Ram Rebel over the Ford Raptor. Now, my first thoughts was when I was looking at a pickup truck, especially for work, especially going out to the range, stuff like that. I was looking at the Ford Raptor. I mean, I was looking at it very hard. So after taking the Raptor out for a ride, looking at the price tag, I mean, just for the price, it just didn't really fit. I mean, the truck didn't really fit, you know, for the price, what it was going for. So my friend, well, actually a nephew, he told me, hey, go take a look at the Ram Rebel. So I went to go take a look at the Ram Rebel, and I tell you what, I immediately fell in love. I mean, just the inside, the outside, so many features on there that just a Ford Raptor just doesn't have. It seems like it almost has the same amount of power. People are telling me that I'm crazy. It doesn't, but you know what? I tell you what, it feels like it has the same amount of power. You know, and it just seems more practical. You know, especially the Ford Raptor being so wide, living in Chicago. It just didn't fit. You know, especially going to car washes. I know there's a lot of car washes that they were telling me that the Ford Raptor just wasn't going to fit through them. So I took a look at the Ram Rebel, and man, I just immediately, like I said, immediately fell in love. So let's take a look at it real fast. I'll show you some things that I love about it, especially moving around a lot of stuff. You know, especially being in sales, consulting, training, taking a lot of gear to the range. One of the features I really like about this is this rear tailgate. I mean, so it drops down, you know, just like a traditional tailgate, but also too is it opens up, which helps with loading. You know, and the Ford just doesn't have this. A GMC has something like this, but Ford doesn't have anything like this. Also too, look at that exhaust. That stock exhaust sounds freaking nice. But you could open this tailgate up both ways. It just helps with loading and unloading gear. Now I have the tonneau cover by Rough Country. When I originally purchased this, they didn't have a tonneau cover for the multi-function tailgate, so I went Rough Country. It's not one of those that are flush. It actually sits up high a little bit. But you know what? I really like it because it adds a little girth to the truck, the back of the truck. It actually adds a lot of girth to the back of the truck. I just really like it. You know, plus too, it seems like it adds a little bit more height as well inside of the truck. You know, the other covers that are flush will drop down about a ½ an inch. That's something to think about as well, you know, when you're purchasing your cover. But I mean, I just really like it. But this tailgate, I mean, I love it, especially for loading and unloading. You would think it's not a big deal, but trust me, for me loading this and unloading these so many times, it just saves so much time, especially loading groceries. You know, you're not reaching over, especially if the wife uses the vehicle, or my little guy says, hey, tell him to go get something from the back. Just open it up, he's able to get in there. It just saves a lot. Now, looking at the outside, I mean, it's already lifted, you know, just like the Ford Raptor. I mean, it has the big tires on there, lift kit, you know, the wheel wells inside as well, keep the snow out of there, especially here in Chicago weather. You know, and just looking at the truck all around, just a nice beefy truck. Also, I threw on the Rough Country Nerf bars, threw those on. Those took about a ½ an hour. Not hard at all, especially having the truck sitting up high allows you to do a lot of your own stuff here, especially with oil change. You don't even need to lift the truck up. You know, you can just creep underneath there with a creeper and, you know, and just change your oil. I haven't had to change it yet, but I've seen some videos and I actually went underneath there to the mock. Just, you know, with the creeper, I was able to go from one end of the truck all the way to the other because it sits up high. So also too is with the Ford Raptor, I got inside, I just didn't feel like it was, I mean, it just felt like a cheap Ford freaking truck. And I'm not saying anything bad about Ford, but when I'm paying over $60,000 for a truck, I want a truck that it feels like a luxury inside. I mean, I have the premium leather, of course. I didn't go with the big screen because I really didn't like it. It just didn't feel practical to me. But I do have the 8.5 inch. It does everything that the big screen does. Taking a look at it, I only have 1,000 miles on it. Just popped its cherry. But I mean, just so much storage inside. You know, looking inside, you have all of this. You know, plus back here, you have storage as well. This lifts up, some more storage. You know, I mean, just so much going on. This right here is actually set up for your phone, so when you could put your phone here, lock it in, it stays in place. This slides back and forth. There's a light here that lights it up down there. You have your sunroof. Now, the original truck that I was picking from Ram did have the big screen, but it didn't have the sunroof. It didn't have the multi-function tailgate. Now, after taking the truck for a ride, one with the big screen, I just didn't like it. Just didn't seem practical. So I decided to go with the 8.5 inch screen and then opt for the sunroof, which is huge. I mean, take a look at that sunroof. It's the whole length of the truck. I mean, just it was a great choice by going with it. Also, with that multi-function tailgate was a great choice as well, especially with moving as much stuff as I do. But just take a look at the inside. I mean, just very nice, very clean, I mean, the back seat is huge. I mean, if you have a kid in the back seat that you need to reach to, you know, because he's acting up, you ain't gonna do it with this Ram Rebel. You know, it's just a huge freaking back seat back there. And also too, there's a couple other features in the back seat that are really nice. Of course, the seats pop up, you know, for some more storage. So, I mean, take a look at that back seat. And my front seats are all the way back. So, I mean, that's a lot of room back there. Plus, you can lift it up. You know, you have that storage underneath there. You know, really nice. What's really nice too is you have these, which are supposed to be like coolers or extra storage. And if you look from underneath, they're actually insulated. So if you do put some liquids in here or some ice, I mean, it is going to stay, keep the temperature nice. So that's the inside. And just take a look at the leather. Now, I opted for the premium leather, which is like an upgrade. Typically, you would get the leather that would have like the red stitching on there, you know, and the red overlay on the doors. I didn't like that. I like this black with the white stitching. It's just a cleaner. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more pricier, you know. And then taking a look at it from the back seat, just very nice, very clean, and just very big inside. I mean, it's large. You get inside the back seat. I mean, especially. I mean, I'm 5'10", but you can take a look at, I'm not even coming close to touching the top. You know, very comfortable back here. I mean, you could fit, I mean, I fit 3 or 4 people back here, 3 or 4 adults, no problem at all. You know, especially going to the range, you know, especially with, you know, teaching, consulting, you know, we're moving around, you know, in decent sized groups. We move a lot of gear. So just take a look at the front. Now, here in Chicago, especially our Chicago house, my truck sits outside, but we're looking to move next year, and then the garage will be a 10-foot door, 3-car garage. So right now this thing is sitting outside, which I don't mind for a year, but next year we'll be moving into a new house, and then you can take a look at some of the stuff that I move around. So I carry around, I have my own rubber dummies, you know, for target practice, steel rubber dummies. I have a couple of these rubber dummies, a couple of these steels. There's some of the few that I have in the garage. You know, so I'm always moving around gear, and these things are heavy. Now, just imagine moving around, you know, 4 or 5 of these, especially with the targets, steel targets in the back. It takes a pretty decent sized truck. And I'll tell you what, my Ram Rebel, it takes it like a champ. So if you guys are looking for a truck, you know, and not looking for a high price, I guess $60,000 sounds like a lot of money. Now, this thing has the 5.7 V-torque engine in it. You know, it's not the best on gas, but I'll tell you what, it seems like I get better gas mileage driving in the city because of that V-torque system with the engine shutting down, and then it goes into its, they call it like a variable rate, variable something, where it shuts down 4 cylinders. It's called like the VVT system on it. So it shuts down 4 cylinders, so it gets you a little better gas mileage, but it only goes in that system, goes into that when you're at certain speeds. So it's not all the time. So if you're cruising like at 40 or 50 miles an hour, you'll see the eco light come on with ECO light come on in green letters up on your dash. I mean, you're supposed to be getting get up better gas mileage. Personally, I'm averaging around 17 miles per gallon, but I have K&N's air filter inside there, which saved me about a 1 mile per gallon. Not much, but it did save me something. I'm looking to change over to the Corsa exhaust on it as well. But pretty much, I mean, that's it right there. The only thing I added to it when I received it was the Nerf bars, my rough country, and the tonneau cover in the back. Also, too, is what I did was, it doesn't come with it typically, utility rails. I don't know if you guys can see them. Some utility rails right here, I added those as well. Those are like tie-down straps. You can move those back and forth, and those are pretty nice, especially when you're loading something large. So it does really work out well. So if you guys are looking for a truck, around $60,000. Now, like I said, this one is fully loaded with the premium leather, the sunroof, the multifunction tailgate, pretty much everything you need for about $60,000. It's a great truck. If you're looking at a Ford Raptor, you're looking at about $80,000, $90,000. You know, and to be honest, in the city of Chicago, this thing is much more practical. Maybe if I was out in Vegas, but you know what? I'm the type of guy that I like to have the comfort. I like to have the luxury. And this thing inside, when you get inside of it, we also own a BMW as well. And I tell you what, it just feels like a luxury vehicle inside, you know, luxury sports vehicle, because of the power that it has as well. So if you guys are looking for you know, a luxury truck, you know, with the power, I would definitely go take a look at the Ram Rebel. So God bless, stay safe, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. So stay safe.